Good morning and welcome back to day 5 of Adventures in Farm Hunting round 2. So it is another slow morning here in Castelo Branco. It is Saturday, it is a weekend, and check this out. So the Sahara sand came through here. There was another storm. There was a big one about a week ago, and it looks like there was some latent sand, dust, or whatever this is that came through here the day before yesterday, or maybe even yesterday, because today everything is caked in this red dust. It's just absolutely everywhere, all over. My allergies are acting up a little bit from that, so if my eye looks a little bit red, that's what it's from. So yesterday, day 4, I only had one property viewing, and it was the off-grid farm. I really wanted to see the off-grid farm because the guys look like they have done a little bit more to the land, and they had solar set up, they had water set up, and the house was in livable condition. They were living in the house. The solar was already connected to the little house. When I got there, unfortunately, it wasn't quite what I was looking for. I think they've done an amazing job on the land, but it was a little bit too boring for me, if there is even such a thing. The land was very plain. There were about 90 olive trees, really old olive trees, but they looked like they needed some TLC as well. They have recently planted some beautiful citrus trees as well, and they were very young saplings, just starting to grow in the last couple of months. 6 months ago they said they planted them. They only have a borehole on this terrain, so there's no wells, there's no additional water, and the owners said that they don't actually drink the water and they've never had it tested, so they ship water, bottled water, in to the property to drink, and they only use the borehole water for irrigation and for showering, laundry and stuff like that. So not having enough water is obviously a concern up here in Castelo Branco because the summers can get pretty hectic. So you need something with a lot of water. The terrain, like I said, there were about 90 olive trees, some citrus trees. It was kind of in a little slopey valley and then sloped up a little bit. The views were pretty, but it was incredibly rural. So this was just outside of Escalos de Baixo, Marta, kind of on the cusp of that area. Pretty area, but it just didn't inspire joy, if I can use that term, in me. And to be very honest, like, my mind is still set on that property that I saw the other day, the renovation project. That terrain was just so beautiful. Sometimes you just walk into a place and you feel some kind of connection. You feel some kind of way about a place, right? Whether that's positive or negative. And I can't get this property off my mind. I know it's a little bit more expensive to buy, especially with the work that is required to be done on that property, but that terrain was just something else, and I really fell in love with it the moment I set foot on that property. So I don't know. I'm thinking, because I don't have any viewings scheduled for this weekend, I might actually just take a drive back there to go and see the property without the agent. Of course I won't have keys, but I want to go back to the terrain and see if I really am still as much in love with it as I am in my mind, in any case. So I might just go and do that, and then also just take a drive around, generally maybe here around Sebelage, and see if there's any properties for sale. Sometimes you can find places that aren't necessarily listed on Idealista, but they will have for sale boards up. So let's just go and take a drive around maybe this weekend and go and see. I was actually meant to have a viewing today. It was the rescheduled viewing from the first night that I arrived too late, and I had to reschedule it. But I have been corresponding with this agent every day this week, and we rescheduled for almost every day, and he keeps chopping and changing. and the final schedule was for today, but then it came with the ultimatum, whereas he said if I don't speak fluent Portuguese and I don't have a translator with me, he has no interest in showing me the property. That's a second for this week. The first one was the agent no-show, and the second is that someone doesn't want to show me the property if I don't speak fluent Portuguese. So I cancelled that viewing. Again, it wasn't necessarily a property that I was dying to see. It was something that I thought would be interesting to see, just because it was also in the Sebelage area, or at least close to this area, and it looked like it had some work done already. So when I met up with the agent yesterday, they also listed a brand new property that I've also scheduled to go and view on Monday. It is just south, like a kilometer south of Penamacor, which is a little north of Castelo Branco. It looks interesting. It is a little farm, 6,000 squares. It has an active vineyard. It has about 40 olive trees. And it's got a little building that's got electricity and water already. It's got a little house. The house is registered, and I think maybe urban. I'll have to double check. It doesn't have a bathroom, so all the plumbing again and the sanitary works will need to be done, but it looks in a very livable condition, and it is 20,000 euros cheaper than that property that I love so much that needs everything done. So I thought that would be interesting to go and see. So we're going to go and see that on Monday morning, and I'll let you guys know. But for this weekend, we're just going to take it easy. As you can see, there's no rain today. It is a little bit overcast though, and the dogs are totally loving this. They're loving just being outside and spending some time in the garden, just doing what they do, sniffing all the sniffs, looking at all the sheep, listening to all the neighbors' dogs. So yeah, we'll probably go and take a little drive around and see what we can see for this weekend, and then Monday we've got another scheduled viewing. Tuesday is the big one in Covilha, and then after that I'm going to see if there's maybe anything else that I want to see, or maybe reschedule with that agent of the property that I loved so much to see. I really can't stop thinking about it. Let's see. See you just now. This is Alfrevida. Seems to be a cute little town. So I decided to go for a drive in and around Sebelage. I went from Sebelage to Cima, to Escalos de Baixo, Taxo, if you pronounce it that way. I then decided to take a drive down to Periash and Alfrevida, which is south of Sebelage to Cima, and this is pretty much where we are now. It looked like mostly plantations coming through Sebelage and into Alfrevida area, but now it's opened up a little bit, and it seems to be opening up a little bit to some nice interesting farmlands. Have a look. So it seems to be in a little bit of a valley. And we're gonna head down there and see what's up there. What you got there, boy? Good boy. Good morning and welcome back to day 6 in our adventures in farm hunting round 2. So as you can see, the weather is back. I think today is going to be our last day of respite from rain, and then tomorrow, of course, the day that I have to drive the furthest, it's gonna come pouring down again in buckets apparently. So today I only have one viewing set up. It is a new one that wasn't on my list before. It is the farm that was listed just last week, and it is south of Penamacor, 6,000 square meters. It's got an existing structure, it's got electricity, it's got an interesting farmland, and it's got loads of livestock pens right next to what can be converted into a house. I think it could be interesting just because of how much work has been done on the building itself and the potential that exists. It is fully fenced. They've taken well care of the land. I think I'm just gonna have to see how I feel when I get there. But why I wanted to see it was because it, like I said, it looked like an interesting project, but also it's 20,000 euros less than the one that I really like that's in the same area. And 20,000 can go quite a distance. So on the weekend I didn't actually end up driving too far because I realized that this farm is very close to the location of the one that I love so much. So after this morning's viewing, I'm probably just going to head back down to the location of that farm that I like so much, just to see if I still feel the same way about it. But honestly guys, I can't stop thinking about it. I've been making plans of what I can do with the building. I have been drafting what I can do architecturally, and really I just can't stop thinking about that place. I might also just try and see if I can get hold of a structural engineer while I'm here. The problem is I'm only here for another 3 days, so I don't know if I'm going to even have time to head back there with a structural guy to just see the condition of the roof and so on. What concerns me a little bit is the roof to me looks like in a reasonable condition, but it is still made of wooden beams. It doesn't have the steel structure on the inside yet, and I don't know if it's going to be worthwhile doing insulation on the existing structure as it is now, or ripping everything out and doing it right. But like the agent said, that roof structure will probably cost like close to 20,000 to fix, and if I can save 20,000 now and only need to maybe do that in 2 or 3 years from now, that might be worth it. But I can't make that call because I'm not a structural engineer. So I'm going to see what I can do and then see if I can set up another viewing with the agent for Wednesday to get back inside the property, because if I go today I wouldn't be able to get inside the property, but I can at least look at the terrain and see if I love it as much as I did the first time I saw it. So we're going to get ready to head out for today. See you later.